For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. This is The Scribble. Thanks for tuning in at thescribbleshow.com and on SoundCloud and iTunes. It's a long weekend for Canadians, and next week is the holiday for Americans, Memorial Day. And judging by the news week that you guys have had, or the news month, or the news 100 and whatever days, I think you're going to enjoy a long weekend. But again, I say it's fascinating to see how many people are tweeting their anger every night. And again, I just think the blood pressure of those people over the next 4 years, you're going to be medicated. You're going to it's not good. Relax, have a good time. Life is too short, and you need to enjoy it. And that's going to segue into our celebrity guest on the show today. Singer Leanne Rimes is celebrating love. She really does just want to spread positive messages and see the better things in life instead of the negativity and the hate. And we see that on social media. We see that apparently now in the White House. And so Leanne Rimes is celebrating Stepmother's Day this Sunday, and she's going to be talking with us in just a little bit about what it means to her, because she's got 2 stepkids, and also her new music and her new blog, and it's just very positive stuff. And I think that is what we need when all this crap is hitting the fan that you see on CNN and Fox News or whatever it is. So we're going to have a positive, upbeat show today. Feel free to give me a shout. It's always awesome hearing from you. My email address is live@jbonair.com. live@jbonair.com. And again, you can subscribe to the podcast if you have not already at thescribbleshow.com and on SoundCloud and iTunes. live@jbonair.com. Speaking of love, and I'm going to put love in quotation marks, The Bachelorette is back on ABC. All the TV networks are announcing their fall lineups and what's coming up for 2017 to 18, and ABC has announced that The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and then there's also this Winter Games thing, which I don't know how I feel about that. But ABC, bringing back The Bachelorette, starts Monday night. I do live tweet, so follow along if you're part of Bachelor Nation and you want to see what's happening. @Jeremy D. Bradley is my Twitter handle, @Jeremy D. Bradley. And I do chime in, and I do slut shame, and it's sarcasm like cranked up 14 notches, because I'm usually like half a bottle of wine in before the show even starts. But I don't know that many people take the show seriously, right? And I don't mean this one, I mean The Bachelorette. And so it's, season after season of heartbreak and failure and people just trying to get their own reality show or trying to get a show business deal or whatever it is. Do you remember the first time when it happened? There was that guy, what was his name? He was a country singer, right? And all of a sudden it was scandalous that he was, oh my God, he's on the show because he's trying to promote his music. Oh my God, that's horrible. Wes, I believe, was the name, wasn't it? Because he was on our radio show. And so he was this big villain. It's terrible. Can you believe he's on there? That's where the term came, for the right reasons, on here for the right reasons. And then Wes kind of set the trend, if you want to call it that, the pattern now, or really just the habit of people who go on the show. So definitely follow along @Jeremy D. Bradley for the Bachelorette tweets all season. It's going to be a good time. And it's funny to see how many people, once The Bachelor just wrapped up a couple of months ago, are going through like withdrawals and, because you get like a community on Twitter anyway, and not like the mob mentality for those ones that tweet about Trump all the time, but certainly viewers of television shows, fans, do communicate and chat with each other when the show is on, and that's, I think, what makes it actually tolerable for me, because it is 2 hours of my week that I'll never get back, so I end up getting distracted, and I tweet along with some fans. So I can't wait to tweet again with you guys on Monday night. We've got to take a break. When we come back, Leanne Rimes will be joining us. Stick around here, there's more coming up on The Scribble.
Airfares go up and down more than planes themselves. Pricearazzi.travel has you covered when flight prices change on Expedia.com. If the prices drop, you'll be sure to know about it. There's already so much to remember when you travel, and you shouldn't have to worry about paying more than you needed to on your flights. Let Pricearazzi.travel keep an eye on that for you. Your biggest concern should be if you've packed enough money to buy all the trinkets you really don't need, or if your swimsuit shows off enough skin in all the right places, or that while you are away, the kids have enough food in the kennel and that the dogs get to school on time. Wait, flip those last two. Simply register your email address with Pricearazzi.travel and then book your flights on Expedia.com. Your itineraries are automatically sent to Pricearazzi, and you could do your happy dance if the flight becomes cheaper in 24 hours. Better yet, you could actually end up flying for free. And who doesn't love free, right? Find out how to save on your Expedia flights at Pricearazzi.travel. Avoid bank account turbulence and sign up now at Pricearazzi.travel.
Well, she's had a one-way ticket since she was a teenager, and now she's in her mid-20s. Go with it, Leanne, okay? Leanne Rhymes.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
Leanne Rhymes still rocking it in the music biz, and she's joining us on the line for some love and positive thoughts, right, Leanne?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, no, I know you're a busy gal, and I want to wish you a happy Stepmother's Day, too.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yes. It's so funny because, Stepmom's Day, not a lot of people know about, and it's the Sunday after Mother's Day. This sweet little girl several years ago actually made it a national holiday because she wanted to celebrate her stepmom also on a separate day. So I'm trying to raise awareness for it because I think it's just a great thing for people to know about, because I think it can get, it can get so odd on Mother's Day for a lot of stepmoms. So I think it's great that, they have a day after to celebrate their role in the kids' lives and their love for the kids. So yeah, I'm excited. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. I know you love the two kids. So let's talk about, what is the best thing about being a stepmom?
Oh my gosh. Well, the best thing I think for me is that I am a parent, but I'm not a parent in that way that they come to me about certain things, or I'll let them say things in front of me and joke about things in front of me that necessarily mom and dad wouldn't let happen. So they're comfortable with me, which I love. And I get to be a little more lenient, even though I know when to say no and to put my foot down, as a parent. But also, it's nice to kind of be a little bit removed. And they teach me so much. I mean, honestly, they've shown me places that I need to heal myself. They have helped me enjoy, life. Really, I never really had a childhood, so just to be able to see them have a childhood and get to be around that and get to see the joy in that, it's very healing for me.
Oh, come on, you had a childhood. You were dancing on trolleys as a kid.
I was, yes, that's true. That sounds a little strange, but but I was, yeah.
Yeah, people who've seen the video, they get it. Your fans get it.
Yes.
But it's great that you stay so positive because, let's be honest, your family has been put through the ringer, and it's certainly not fair for the kids at all. And I know that you want to protect them, so does Eddie. How do you deal with it, though, when the tabloids are so intrusive and negative? You still always have a smile on your face and you're so positive.
I don't let it get to me. I think there was a time when I did, when I maybe identified a little too much with what they were saying, or maybe I didn't know enough about myself, or trusted that side of myself, and was grounded in who I was to not allow it to affect me. But I think as I've grown and healed parts of myself, and Eddie and my relationship is so solid, and partly because of that. I mean, we went through hell to be together, so I think that forged a bond between us that it's different. It's different than any other relationship I've ever been in. And with the kids, we do want to protect them. And you realize, my mom always said you can only protect your kids, so much, and then the world happens, and I never quite understood that really until, you have kids around that you really want to protect. And there was no part of this journey that I could skip over, and the tabloid part of it was just a part of it. And we know who we are, we know our family, and we have great love and respect for each other, and whatever they say really kind of rolls off our back. We laugh a lot at it because it's just so preposterous most of the time.
All right, well, we've got to take a break here. We're going to have more with Leanne Rimes right after this.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
Back talking with Leanne Rimes, and happy Stepmother's Day to everybody. So it's like a theme day. The song Mothers, it's on your Remnants album that just came out a few months ago, actually. What inspired that song Mothers? It's theme day today. We're talking about moms.
Yes. Well, my mom and I have had kind of an interesting relationship, I guess, or, for my whole childhood. I mean, she kind of lost me to the world at 13, didn't have my whole childhood with me at home with her. And she worried like times a million because of that, and always was very vocal about it, and constantly was, letting me know how much she lost me and how much that affected her. And I was very unempathetic to that, and that just kind of pushed her away a lot, and they kept her out of the outside of my life for a long time. And I was writing the song with Mark Batson and Daryl Brown, and we were writing about this healing process and acceptance and, this generational healing. And Mark looked at me and he said, one day you'll get here with your mom. And I was so mad at my mom that day. And I said, I will not get there with my mom. I totally don't understand her. And this just will never happen. And about 2 weeks later, something happened with one of my stepsons that I wanted to protect him tremendously. And I couldn't. And I could only imagine it was probably a tenth of what my mom felt with me. And so I got it, like something clicked for me, and I started crying, and I'm calling her and sending her a text and saying, I'm so sorry. Like, all of a sudden, I guess I saw her as the woman that she was, instead of just my mom, someone I expected, to protect me and almost save me from everything. I realized that she was this woman who'd overcome a lot and who had fought and who loved, from the depths of her soul. She's got such a beautiful heart, and I just saw her in a different light. And writing that song, this whole album has been that way, where I felt like I almost wrote things and then stepped into them, knowing where I wanted to be. And Mother is just a perfect example of that, because I feel like I really did, I really step into that a little bit later on, or embody it completely. And so it's been very healing for my mom and me, that song.
It's really interesting relationships that kids have with moms. I know when I was, 20-something living with my parents, I just couldn't wait to get out of there, and I was so resentful, towards everything. And then my brother said to me, once you move out, though, you're going to have a new appreciation for what mom and dad do and say and all those things. And sure enough, it's been 9.5 years since I've lived with them, and I do enjoy that time with mom now. Like, before I was just like, once I move out, I'm rarely gonna talk to them. And now we've got a great relationship, and it's all good. So it really does take maturing and growing as a kid into an adult, and then you have that appreciation, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I mean, I think I talked about the generational healing a little bit. I think, each set of parents really only have the tools that were passed along to them by the parents before. And so, I think as kids, we all like to blame our parents for all of these pieces of them that we see in ourselves that we don't like or that are difficult for us to deal with. And then, you have to really, I guess, start to become the adult that is able to step back and not be the child anymore, and to step back and see what your parents really were struggling with as adults as you were growing up, because now you're struggling with the same things. And I think it gives you an opportunity, for me, just that realization and that kind of awakening of things and understanding gave me and is giving me a chance to heal those pieces and not have to pass them along to the next generation. So I think that's really important. And, it's nice to be able to see your parents just as as human beings and as as adults, and just instead of having to look at them as your parents that need to protect you and that you need something from.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched? And who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
Jeremy Bradley here, once again, still talking with Leanne Rimes, and it's just Positivity Day. Honestly, when we see so much negativity on the news and coming out of the White House and everything like that, it's great to just have that love and positivity. So, Leanne, let's keep going.
Well, it's not even, it's not even so much the positive. I guess what I have learned with any kind of situation, whatever you want to see, you will find. Whatever you're looking for, it's there. It's just the way we train our minds to what we train our minds to look for. And we live in this society right now that is incredibly dark, and we're constantly through social media. There's constant hatred, and we're breeding it. It's a breeding ground for it, and so we're not taught to look for love. And that's who we are. I mean, that's at the core of who we are. We've been conditioned to look for what we're looking for and to act the way we're acting. And it takes work to recondition yourself. It takes work to want to think differently and to think on the side of love, and to it's almost, you really have to be an outsider in a lot of ways. You're not one of the crowd, that's for sure. But I think I think there's more people. I think there's this kind of surge of love coming to the surface, and people who are advocates for it. And I didn't really know I was one. I mean, I've always felt that in my heart, but not until writing this record of Remnants did I realize how much I really needed to speak on it, and how much I believed in it, because we have so many songs on this record with the title Love in it, and it actually freaked me out. I'm like, this is kind of ridiculous that we have so many songs with love in it, but I realized we were looking at it from many different angles, from giving it, receiving it, to standing up for it, to making it, and it was all legitimate, authentic ways of talking about it. So when I realized this is a hopeful record, and you're right, with the climate that we're living in, there's so much of the opposites there. There's so much of the darkness. It's like, as an artist, I think I have an opportunity to be able to bring some light and hope into the world. And with this record, and I think where I'm going in my life, as an artist, I make that conscious decision to bring a side of bring the side of the light that needs to be illuminated. The love that needs to be illuminated in this world.
So you do that through your music, and now you're blogging too, Soul of Everly, right?
Yes, I am. I'm so excited. The blog's called Soul of Everly, and I've had this on my mind and my heart for the last 2.5 years, and I've been one of those people that I've been, like everyone, I think we have the fear of being judged and misunderstood, and this is really my humanity's come out through my music, but even more so in my blog. And my journey of healing that has happened over the last 4.5 years for me. It's just, I've had so many amazing awakenings, and so many pieces of me that I know I've never shared that I think a lot of people can relate to. And I have access to all of these incredible healers and teachers, and I'm just kind of a seeker. I love looking for ways to be my best self, mentally, physically, spiritually, and so it's basically what it is. The blog is about sharing all of those experiences, and I just finally jumped in. And let the fear go, and it's going to be an evolution, and I think that's part of one of my lessons of this blog, and that I want to help teach is to just begin. Nothing is perfect about the blog. It's, a lot of my projects I've always had to wrap up in a really pretty package and make sure it was perfect enough for me before it went out. And this time I know that it's great what's out there right now, but I know it's going to develop and grow, and I want people to see that evolution and be a part of that evolution.
It's never too early to start thinking about your next holiday. Have you checked out Mexico recently? From tequila tasting, swimming with horses, to ziplining through the jungle and watching whales and dolphins in their natural habitat, Puerto Vallarta has it all. Visit mexico.jbonair.com to see all the fun PV has to offer. That's at mexico.jbonair.com for hundreds of photos, interviews, and videos from around the tourist hotspot. Check out mexico.jbonair.com for all the fun. That's mexico.jbonair.com.
Back talking with Leanne Rimes in our final remaining moments, talking everything love and positivity and just being good in the world. We need a little bit more of that, don't you think? And Leanne, you've got your music, you've got your blog, and you're really making a difference in a lot of people's lives.
I've worked a lot with the LGBTQ community, and I'm a huge advocate of equality and all of human rights. And I think that that kind of is the basis also for what I want people to feel when they come to Soul of Everly is that acceptance and that freedom to be themselves. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm really, really excited to be able to share this new journey.
Well, I know we do have to get going, but you mentioned the LGBT. You've got a big party coming up in New York City, right?
I do. I'm headlining Pride there in next month, actually. So I cannot wait. It's going to be a blast.
Just a few of your closest, 100,000 friends, right?
Absolutely. I know I'm going to be playing out right at the end of the parade, and I know that will be one for the books for sure. That's going to be epic.
Well, I know you're always on social media, so how can people stay in touch?
Go to Leanne Rimes. You can search me at Leanne Rimes, and then Soul of Everly. Search Soul of Everly. It's SOULOFEVERLE.
Well, we're going to be checking out, and thank you for sharing your love, Leanne Rimes. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, nice to talk to you.
All right, have a great day now. And thank you to Leanne Rimes for joining us. All of our celebrity interviews from the radio show and this podcast and our red carpet events, you can go to speakfreecelebwatch.com, speakfreecelebwatch.com, and you can take a listen there, because we had a really busy week. Last week on this show we had Allison Janney. She is on CBS's show Mom, and she's on Broadway now. And somebody had emailed me a couple weeks ago when we went through a few weeks stretch of not having any celebrity guests, and they asked, well, are you not doing celebrity interviews anymore? We are. There's just been so much crap happening in the news and so many other things to talk about that we've kind of focused on that. So we've got a whole bunch of other great interviews coming up. Next week, Dean Brody, he's a country singer in Canada. I was backstage with him at one of his concerts, and we're going to be playing that interview for you coming up next week here on the show, and just a whole bunch of other fun stuff. But I do like to have my 30 minutes of just rambling, useless chatter time, because it's a lot of things that you might be thinking or have experienced or have said, that's right, I've never really thought about that way. And I'm giving myself a lot of credit on this one. I'm patting myself on the back. I'm trumping, if you will, that I love hearing from you. So again, my email address, live@jbonair.com, live@jbonair.com. Speaking of social media and all those other, and feeling the hate, I'm going to tell you in the next segment about some hate that I received Thursday morning with one tweet that was not even 10 words. That story coming up right after this.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate, at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate, at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
Thank you very much, Larson. Oh, how appropriate that we have a Twitter promo just as I'm about to tell this story, because All right, so, that social media gives people that mob mentality, right? And we see it all the time with Stephen Colbert when he made that joke about Trump and Putin, and there was the hashtag for, what was it? Fire Colbert or whatever, boycott Colbert, whatever it was. And people pressuring CBS to cancel Stephen Colbert. And then just this week when ABC announced that the sitcom Last Man Standing is being canceled, there's all of a sudden right away a boycott for ABC because that was my favorite show and I'm mad as hell and I can't believe they did that to me. When you look at things in the grand scheme of life, illness, tragedy, natural disasters, is the cancellation of a television show really that big? Is that you get so fired up that you need to lash out and just call for a book? Down with ABC, down with Disney, screw those people, they canceled the show. Chill the F out, people, because, again, like I say at the top, much like the presidency for the next 3.5 years, however long Trump is in office, these people who spend every night on Twitter just battling and fighting with others, what you could be doing, you could be volunteering in your community, you could be going out and picking up garbage, you could be going and volunteering at an animal shelter, you could be doing whatever. Instead, you're spending hours and hours and hours having these fights. And so, that's what leads me to my story about social media. So Thursday morning, when the word got out that Roger Ailes, you know him from Fox News, he left after a sexual harassment scandal. He died, and so when CNN had tweeted that he died, I wrote back, and this is 7 words that just had people thrashing me all Thursday, and I still have a couple of messages this morning, Friday. So my tweet was, 1 predator down, how many to go? Now again, if anybody who follows me knows it's loaded with sarcasm. Like I say about The Bachelorette and Bachelor, like it is, I am there to make fun and not be too serious. Now I realize that death is a serious thing, and he did have a family and all those things. So I'm not doing a ding dong, the witch is dead, let's dance and piss on his grave. I'm certainly not doing that. But it was proven that he was a bit of a predator, right? So that's sort of me editorializing and sort of giving half the truth. So naturally within minutes, nice, typical liberal, you are trash, looking forward to the reckoning, your days are numbered, traitor, and then hashtag treason. And here's one that's you're a douche, and that's Y-O-U-R, a douche. And so I naturally have to tweet. I can't let that one go. I have to tweet back with that one going Y-O-U''R-E equals you-are. Yeah, Roger Ailes was a fascist, effing dead people. Exactly, liberals start celebrating for someone they don't like. What a good victory, in quotes, for them. And then there were other people, like I said, that they went on about Bill Clinton and some other things. But again, here's the deal, is that you have these people that don't agree with you, so then they're going to give you death threats, or they're going to, just call for your head. And I want to blame social media on that because, I don't think that people really had that, you didn't have that access to people. If you didn't like them, it's not like you're going to go, I guess you could go and pick it outside their house or whatever it is, but certainly, you didn't have this, with the stroke of a key and the swipe of a finger and the press of a button, as our President Trump reminds us on a daily basis, that you could have so much of an impact. And so again, you can hide behind a screen and just lash out and call names and thrash somebody and what have you, just because you disagree with them. And it's so bizarre that you'd think that in 2017, we're in a world where you should be able to have your opinion and not be beaten down for it, because it's interesting that when there's outrage, people are beaten when they're protesting or whatever it is. But then it's like, well, wait a second, you gang up on people on social media and do the same thing. If you don't agree with them, you can stand aside and let them have their protest, let them have their say. You don't have to interfere and now go and punch them in the face and rip up their sign or do whatever. But now I'm starting to sound like an American, and I don't want to do that, trust me, because I am proudly Canadian. Feel free to give me a shout anytime. It's always awesome hearing from you, provided we're not cancelled after my tweet about Roger Ailes. We'll be back next week, and we will have, I believe, our chat with Dean Brody, who is a great country singer in Canada, and we were backstage in his dressing room before a concert the other day, and we'll be playing you those clips and that interview here on the Scribble podcast. And once again, we're at thescribbleshow.com and on SoundCloud and iTunes. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can subscribe, you can tweet. Tweet your hate tweets. I do get a kick out of it. I don't sleep with my phone, and I don't have it attached. It's not right beside me every minute of the day, so it is kind of funny when I do check in and scroll through all of the people who are bashing. But I don't get it as much as some others do. So at Jeremy D. Bradley is my Twitter handle, and the podcast is at The Scribble Show on Twitter. My name is Jeremy Bradley. I will talk to you then. Have a great weekend. Happy Victoria Day weekend to our Canadian friends, and Memorial Day is coming up for you Americans. Bye-bye, everybody.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some real heat,